Good evening from Swansea wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are listening to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, your one-stop shop for professional wrestling, insight, news, and reviews on a daily basis. And today, it's Saturday, which meant Friday Night SmackDown was last night, and Tama Tonga has arrived in WWE. I'm getting ready for a long travel day tomorrow as I'm moving back to London, which is why I almost botched the intro and said live from London instead of Swansea. But hey, for right now, at least I still know where I am. But to help me, guys, get through this show, I have got a great panel, and let's kick things off with the Tuesday Night Delight. 4 days late or 3 days early, depending on how you want to see it. Shad, how are you today?
It's a glass half full situation when you say it
Yeah.
like that. I'm doing great, man. I'm back in the fold. Wrestling Republic fans, y'all get to see me as much as you get to see me. I'm back on working mode, off of vacation mode, but I'm good, man. I definitely enjoyed SmackDown last night. I thought they had a lot going on the show, and I'm excited to talk about it. So let's get into it.
Absolutely. I mean, Naveen says it best. Today's Tama Tonga debut was unexpected. It certainly was. We've also got Isaac Pugh over on Instagram saying that, this was great, but how about we bring in some more of the family? Perhaps Jacob Fatu, of course, the MLW star. Who knows about him? Who knows if he will ever come to WWE? But if he does, that would certainly be a fantastic sight to see. This family is so big. This family is so talented. I mean, Daniel Jefferson 86100 is saying, I'm sick of seeing that family. Well, I'm not. I'm certainly not, because I am a big fan of the Bloodline. But also joining us today, well, he was somebody who went against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and he was a Cody crybaby. How are you, Jordy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Yeah, listen, I, I was a Cody crybaby, and I still am, and I will be forever. But I'm not like the guy in the comments. I don't want to see less of the bloodline. I'm actually very positive. That was what I was going to say. Before you rudely went for me like that. But no, yeah, what I was going to say was I'm coming to you, and I'm very, very positive because Raw After Mania was good, and I genuinely thought we might be going a little bit without seeing the bloodline, maybe a month or so, to actually see them and to see this story expanding in a way that I'm a fan of it. I know maybe some people aren't, and I know we're going to talk about it, but yeah, let's get into it, man, because it was great. I'm a fan of that.
Absolutely. We have Josh Markowitz in the commenting that he's editing the WR Wrestling Republic, the Wrestling Republic WrestleMania vlog as we speak. I cannot wait to see
Let's
that, Josh. It's
go.
going to be super, super fun. We have Melissa in the chat. Shout out to Melissa for sure. I mean, clearly Soul's still heartbroken. I mean, he's been strangely quiet since Tony Khan went off the rails a few days ago on Wednesday night, and he's pointing out that where's the hype package for casual fans for Tama Tonga? They explained who he was. They said he's the son of Haku. He's been doing big things in Japan. This guy is not going to be main event in Backlash, right? He's not been brought in to be a major single star. He's like almost 40. He's not going to be a single star. He's been brought in as basically a pawn in this storyline. And we're going to get into that a little bit later on. But he'll be a pawn in this storyline, but it'll certainly increase his worth. Let's just say that for sure. Let's just jump into it, in fact. Let's just jump into talking about Tama Tonga, because we know he's been a free agent. We know he left New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm going to be honest, I thought he was going to come to SmackDown, and I thought he was going to join the Bullet Club, the OC, AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows. I thought they were going to reunite. I thought, to be honest, that's why AJ Styles turned heel and lost at WrestleMania. I thought Tama Tonga was going to come in post WrestleMania and join them and put AJ back on the right track once again. But for the sake of the career of Tama Tonga, I prefer this, because let's be real about it. Again, he's getting on a bit, and there's no hotter storyline in professional wrestling than the Bloodline. There isn't, and there hasn't been for the last 3 years. These guys are on top. They are on fire. So to be brought into this storyline in this position, I mean, this guy just in one night has meant that he's going to be selling out Comic-Cons for, years and years to come once he has retired from the great game of professional wrestling. Shad, what was your thoughts on this one?
It was an utter surprise to your point as well. I didn't expect it to happen, but I wasn't mad at it. Obviously, we've heard the rumblings of him possibly coming into the WWE. How would we have him debut and whatnot? But I think this is the right direction. For a couple reasons. One, to your point, he's a guy who's been in this business for quite a while now. It's kind of good to get him in the fold and have him do something that can be beneficial for him. He's an incredible worker. He's showed time and time previously that he's able to work within dominant factions, and I don't think this is going to make any much of a difference. The second part of it is like just continuing the story of the bloodline. Like I feel that a lot of people expected it to kind of end after we saw the championship lost by Roman Reigns. There's way more story to tell that doesn't have to tie with the actual title. And this is the brilliance of it. You're adding a whole new chapter to this uh story, and you're going into another inning. When Heyman said we were in the third inning, we don't know what they meant by that, right? Like there's so
Yeah.
many different ways that you can create and pivot a story and how we go into the inning. It's great, and I think the best part about the bloodline the storyline to me a while ago was just the civil war within it. When we saw Roman have his feuds with the Usos, when we saw Roman have his feud with Jay, then Jay joining, like there's such beauty within the fights within family, which is very real because families do feud, right? But this is
Yeah.
something that adds a whole layer to it, and I like it for Solo most importantly, bro, because this is a guy who has an immense amount of talent. He has a lot of star power, but we feel like he's kind of been just the cover guy for like the fall guy for the last few months in regards to this whole storyline with Cody and whatnot. Like he's someone that has a dominant presence. I've said that he has a bit of a Umaga to him, and
Yeah.
this is even a different side of him. He's going to be like his own tribal chief in a sense, and
Wow.
I'm hyped for it. And I think it all chains back to the final boss. I think this is a call from Rock. I think The Rock saw stuff fall like flat at Mania. I think he has that close relationship and he sees the star power with Solo as a threat. He says, "Look, assemble some hitters onto this team." And Tama Tonga is the first one, so I'm excited for it, man. I know a lot of people are complaining. They're like trying to play like ancestor, like, oh, how's he related? It doesn't. Come on, guys. Let
They've been in the family for years. Like they
Yeah,
consider themselves family
yeah.
for
The
years and
Rock
years.
has called the Rock his. The thing is this: family doesn't always have to be blood in a way too. Like there's
Mm.
very close relation. Like his father was tag team partners with
Rikishi, bro.
Rikishi.
Like
Yeah.
their dads
So
were tag team partners together. Like if
yeah,
that isn't a
And the
connection, I don't know
families
what is. Like
the families consider themselves family before
yeah.
that as well. Like they've gone back decades. These guys have been, really close friends outside of the ring.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The Rock calls Haku like an uncle. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't care about all that. Like y'all are, some people will take this a little like just the nitpicking is a little crazy with that. But I'm hyped for it, man. I thought it was a very good move to make post Mania, and hopefully we develop some stars in this.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And yeah, I do also agree with you. It is anybody who says, oh, they're not technically family. Like so many families have other families which they consider family within it because they've been friends for generations or whatever.
Paul Heyman,
That's a
man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And this is like another level too, because this didn't even it did start from wrestling, obviously, but this isn't like a wrestling storyline even. Like this is legit. They absolutely are indeed. Isaac Pugh is bringing up a great point though. What happens to Heyman now? I mean, Jordy, what's your thoughts on that and where this storyline is going? And to Naveen's point, is Solo the new leader?
Answer to the first question with Paul, that's one of the most intriguing things to me about it. If it looks like the bloodline is going to split to me, I don't think the Solo is going to be the leader as such. I think Solo is maybe going to be the face of it, but I genuinely think we're going to get a call back to when Rikishi said, I did this for The Rock. And I think we're going to hear Solo say it. I genuinely do. There's something about Solo. I've never got a Rikishi vibe from Jimmy. And it's not just the size thing. It's just the demeanor, the style of wrestling. I've never got that. I do get it a bit with Solo. And especially the more I hear him speak, the more I see Rikishi come through. Because let's be honest, Solo's not had a great deal to do on the microphone for the past however long. But the more I hear him speak, the more I do see his dad coming through. So I'm excited really to see what Solo can do. Like we said, I think The Rock is behind it. I think the fact that he calls Haku his uncle, bringing him Tama, and that is less on Roman's side and more on The Rock's side. So that again leans into the fact that I think it's come from that. Now, this is something that I was literally just randomly watched the WrestleMania main event earlier on because I just wanted something to watch and I thought it was great. And if you watch that back now, the way that Solo acts with Roman in that ring is different to the way Jimmy does. It's different to the way The Rock does. He screams at him. He screams at him to get up, get up. It's like he's frustrated with him. I've had enough of you. You're going to lose it. I didn't get that with Jimmy. Jimmy came in and got his head close to him and was like, are you all right? Also, I said The Rock kind of, if you watch back now, Roman's outside the ring and The Rock just walks straight past him and gets in the ring. Doesn't go to help him up. So I think this has been in the works from before we thought. I think we were all caught up with Cody and Roman. And I think there's probably things further back than that. But yeah, I'm excited to see some kind of bloodline civil war. I think there's potential that Jimmy could bring in a Jacob Fatu maybe to help him with him being a Fatu. And then from that, we get a PLE match of Jimmy and Jacob versus Solo and Tama Tonga. And in that point, Jacob will turn on Jimmy as well. And that's then Jimmy has no choice but to go to Jay. And that's where I think I want to see it go. But that's months down the line, man. I'm sure they've got it in hand. And if anything we've learned from WrestleMania, just trust the process with these guys because I don't think they're in a position now where they say, right, I'm hell-bent, this is where it's going to go. They say, right now, this is where it's going to go. But if things happen, if the crowd react to different things, we change and we move. And that's one of the best things about this new era, I think.
No doubt about it. I'm going to be honest. I've been thinking all day to myself, Roman Reigns must be coming back sooner than I thought because there's no way they can, do all these stories and stuff without him. You just nailed it. That's how they do it. They bring in somebody, a team of Jimmy. They then do the tag match. They turn. Jimmy then goes back to Jay after the draft. They then do something there. And then eventually Roman Reigns comes back in with the Usos. And then, of course, we know The Rock. And something which The Rock was doing pre-Mania was when he was acknowledging Roman Reigns, he was also going like that. And people thought he was pointing. Well, hang on a second. Who does that all the time? Solo Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa, yeah.
Was he actually acknowledging Solo?
I had my eyes out, I was wondering if they were gonna just have Tama Tonga acknowledge like that for a second, but he didn't. He did do the proper one. So
Yeah, this could be the
Oh.
wolf pack of of the bloodline, huh?
Solo uploaded on his Instagram story today a picture of him and Roman hugging as well. I think it was the moment when he'd called him the tribal heir or something like that. So there's layers, man. It's going
Oh.
somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm excited. And it's amazing that despite Cody winning the title, everyone's kind of gone, oh, yeah, who do you want to see him fight at Backlash? Oh, yeah, AJ would be good. Bobby would be good. But anyway, what about the bloodline?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's still the main story, man. And it's great to
Yeah.
have that.
And one last thing is like, and I agree with what Jordy was saying in regards to like Solo's demeanor towards Roman. Like last night, it's just the fact that Heyman was, looking very like shocked, genuine
Yeah.
shock.
Fear.
His fear, but his temperature was a lot different yesterday. He was like, "We're gonna have to like scrap everything and like
Yeah.
rebuild." But the part was when he said he was gonna do the call Roman Reigns, and Solo took the phone and didn't want him to call it. Like that
Yeah.
that there's something to it, and I'm just my I'm happy that they're doing it because I think Solo is super talented, and they had to build. I'm just glad there's being a rerouting for his character because all them losses
Yeah.
he took kind of hurt him a little bit, but now we're going in the right direction.
I just had a thought, right? Imagine if after that Solo Sikoa took out Paul Heyman. He smashed his phone, took out Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman was like in hospital for months or something. Roman Reigns comes back to feud with Seth Rollins for SummerSlam. And then he goes to the SummerSlam match and he's like, where's Jimmy? What's going on? And he has no idea that a bloodline civil war's happened.
Paul could play that, man. Paul
They
could.
had Heyman in a coma for 3 months, and he wakes up out of it. That'd be hilarious.
And your payment just running to tell Roman right before he goes out. He's like, I'm in hospital. I'm out now. The Usos, they're back together. The bloodline's going on. And Roman's like just about to walk out, and he walks out and then loses, and then there's the excuse. It's so dumb, but that would be funny. We do
would be
have
funny.
a couple of
Be hilarious.
comments. Tiny So Weird is saying he believes the L from The Rock stands for the long gamer that he said in the Pat McAfee show. Could well be. That is a great, great shout indeed. But hey, let's now move on because I want to talk about somebody who I always enjoy talking about, and that is Mr. Bron Breakker. Perhaps the next big thing in professional wrestling. I could undoubtedly see that. I've been singing his praises for the longest time, but hey, I've got an issue here because I hate, and I mean hate, Bron Breakker's new theme. I didn't like his old one, but I hate this new one. A theme song is such an important part of a main event star. It really, really is. It's vital for a top star to have a great theme song. And Bron Breakker, I didn't think had one before, but definitely doesn't have one now. They need to change it, and they need to change it fast. Because this guy looks like a star, he talks like a star, he has the aura of a star, and he has the age where he can be developed into a star for a very, very long time. Earn your company a lot of money. Let's have him in the main event scene, this year, ideally. Not winning, but in the scene this year. And I was really, really gutted last night when they changed his theme. Of course, he squashed Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes, I've talked about before as well. A lot of potential. He had everything I thought WWE would want on the main roster, and he has been completely and utterly forgotten about. He's been misused, mishandled, all of the above. Jordy, what were your thoughts on this squash match?
Yeah, exactly that. I'm happy for Bron. He's getting the push he needs. Needs a better. How over he is and how much we're all excited to see more about Bron. Despite never having the best theme song, is just a testament to him. But
It's true.
I thought he looked great last night, as always. The way that he moves in the ring is the speed is something I want to say we've not seen before, but I can't remember it. I think we've got that next level of the next generation of a Brock Lesnar. Whether he's going to be a Heyman guy, I would love to see it. Don't think he needs it, but then again, someone like CM Punk, who's that good on the mic, didn't need it. But it never hurts to have Paul Heyman with you. But I think he's tied up with a bloodline. Yeah, man. I don't know how much. Where now is he going to get tested is the only question I guess I would say now. I as much as I love seeing him, he does just keep squashing people over and over again. I think you're right. Get him in the main event picture. Get him in something like, and I know it's ages away now because we've just gone past Mania, but have him in the Elimination Chamber next year. Have him a part of these matches where there's a main event and there's more than just him, so he can get a part and he can shine. I don't know who the perfect feud for him is right now. Going the way that we're going. Obviously, we had them guys in that main event picture yesterday. He's on his own. If he was with Baron Corbin, I thought maybe, have him as a tag run, but I don't know. I don't know who's on that level within SmackDown right now, the way that they're painting Braun Breaker, who can actually put a stop to him. Like, maybe it's Bobby Lashley. Maybe that's if they want to make Bobby more of a heel, I think that could be the way to go. And I know Braun can be a heel as well. So world's his oyster, man. Whatever way they go with him, I think he's going to impress. So I see some people thinking they want him to have the title by the end of this year. I think that's a bit too much given the roster and where we're at with it. But certainly have him within that mid-card division, going for a title and in these main event matches where you can, and have him shine and just get that experience from the other guys. So yeah, great stuff. Show me more, but show me. I want to see him challenge now.
Yeah, a bit of substance to it.
Mm-hmm.
I get the impression that what they're currently trying to do is just put him on TV, make sure he's on TV while they figure out creative plans for him, where they try and figure out where he's going to go in the draft. I think they're just doing this to get him on TV until they have a plan. I don't think they have one.
No, maybe not. Maybe not.
That's the scary thing. Yeah, it really is when you have somebody who's, as much potential as he has. With Grizz Company main saying, I think it would be dope if in the midst of the Bloodline Civil War, Heyman found Braun Breaker and Corbin and managed them. Also, maybe Heyman removes himself from the war. He gets out of the war zone. Perhaps so. Naveen is suggesting Uncle Howdy in a horror-styled feud with Braun Breaker. I wouldn't do that with Braun Breaker out the gate. I think
we both need. Else. Yeah, I think at the end of the whatever. So Braun's first feud and Howdy's first feud, I think they both need to go over at the end of them. Yeah. So I don't think they should go together. As much as it'd be great to see, I don't think it'd be bad to see. But I think they both need to come out of their first feud looking more powerful, not getting beat. So yeah, it'd be great, but just not yet, maybe.
Yeah, well, that might not be yet, but something which is right now is Next Level. Guys, if you guys don't know about Next Level, I rave about them every single day because they are that good. There's so many links on social media nowadays. If you guys want to find Wrestling Republic's links, you've got to link them in like different Instagram stories, all that stuff. It's complicated. What if you don't follow the Instagram? It's just so chaotic. There's Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, all these links, TikTok, all of them, YouTube, all of them, right? So how will you know where to find them? Well, with Next Level, it's easy because all the links are in one place and it's all at nxconnect.me/Wrestling Republic to see all our content across all platforms, all linked in one place, plus exclusive content, plus giveaways such as right now at WWE 2K24, a WrestleMania 40 years of WrestleMania edition, which you guys can enter a free giveaway for that very, very simply. And my camera's gone weird. I have no idea why it's done that at all. But you can enter that giveaway, guys, by going to NX Connect. There we are. .me/Wrestling Republic to see all our content across all platforms, all linked in one place. And the week of technical difficulties for us just seems to continue, guys. We can't get rid of it. I mean, I started with chaos, and now
I blame Howdy, mate. That was a glitch. I blame Howdy. Somebody mentioned his name.
Howdy. Ooh, maybe Howdy is showing up on the podcast. That'd be a way to debut him. That's for sure. Shad, I'm gonna bring you in now. I want to talk to you about somebody who you are a big fan of, and that is Tiffany Stratton. And Tiffany Stratton has it. The reactions she's been getting are fire. She came out last night. She interrupted Bayley. She said, "Hey, I want a title shot." Bayley was a chicken. She said, no, I wanted to give it to Naomi instead. Well, we had Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton. Naomi, I think, cheated to beat Tiffany Stratton. That's the only way I could see it possibly happen. But in all seriousness, the one thing I do want to say is Tiffany Stratton has so much star power that I think it's very important that her and Jade Cargill get drafted to separate brands, because those are the two up-and-coming top female stars. Let's have them on separate brands so they can develop separately. And in long term, well, that's a huge, huge match. But, Shad, what did you think about Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi, with Naomi becoming the #1 contender for Bayley?
So it's kind of like a long term thing, in my opinion, because I would rather Tiffany fight Bailey in a match where I think Tiffany is presumably possibly going to get the belt off her. I think a weak build match next week would probably being a title opportunity burn for her. I think her title opportunity needs to mean something important, and I think her title opportunity should be one where she should capitalize. I'm not saying that to be biased. I genuinely mean that. I think Tiffany Stratton, like to your point, is a megastar in the making. I think she's kind of got everything locked down in regards to character, as well as a phenomenal in-ring competitor as well. So I like the match. It was a solid match. It was a rematch that they had from a little while ago. I think it is cool that Naomi gets an opportunity, because I think Naomi is also a sensational talent, and she was just at Mania. My issue is this, and I think it's something that you kind of led to, where I hope it is resolved, because I think SmackDown is way too star heavy, while Raw is very minuscule with stars in the women's roster. And it doesn't make as much sense because Raw has more TV time to offer and they have more women's matches throughout their show, while SmackDown is a shorter program. They are very promo heavy. They have a lot of, talking segments, and you don't get as many women's matches. Also, on the side of that, there's big factions on SmackDown with all their stars. You have Damage Control that covers 4 top women. Now you have the big 3 that we're calling Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. Like it kind of gets lost in the shuffle, and it should be cool. I mean, it was a good match. Their chemistry is good. I think Naomi versus Bailey is an excellent TV match. I think Bailey deserves to have, good matches and feuds going on within her reign. But yeah, I mean, her and Tiffany, they're gonna have to revisit at some point. I like the talking segment of it. I think Tiffany is going to be like really, really big time this year. And
Yeah.
I'm still stamping that she wins Money in the Bank. I think
Ooh.
the, couple reasons why. Ladder match, she excels in that. 2, she is a phenomenal character. Imagine the pink bedazzled briefcase for her, right? And I
Yeah.
think she's a perfect next champion for one of the women's belts. I think she's one of those people. Like I really agree to your point. I think Jade maybe being the one to dethrone Rhea, and then Tiffany dethroning Bailey. Like that ushers in this whole new era thing that they're saying perfectly, because I think
Yeah.
those are like the 2 next big superstars that are going to be on the map for their women's division. So unfortunately, Tiffy Time did not reign supreme yesterday. Naomi did get the roll up, whatever, but she'll be good. And I like Naomi. I'm not going to badmouth Naomi. I would never do
I
that
don't
to
think
her.
the shoulders were down, Shard. I don't think the shoulders were down.
Oh, that's the referee. Let's fire that person.
Yeah, yeah. Tiffany Stratton all the way. Tiffy in the bank. I love that shout. I really, really do. Grizz Company main is saying SmackDown has all the depth. He's agreeing with you, Shard, and I'll agree with you too. It really, really does. It feels like it has a 10 times better roster than Raw in both the men's and women's division, actually, but the
Yeah.
women's especially.
Exactly, and you have someone like Rhea Ripley who could really benefit having good opponents to make her reigns
Yeah.
mean more. Like they're really just leaning off the fact that she's that big of a star, and I think she should get some good, like meaningful feuds while she is that star as well.
100%. The draft is needed right now. And last year, I don't think they balanced it right. This year, they need to do that for sure. I'm bringing you back in, Jordy, because I want to chat to you now about 2 guys, Grayson Waller, and more specifically with this one, Austin Theory, because This promo package for A-Town Down Under made Austin Theory feel like a star. And a big part of that was how Grayson Waller talked about Theory. And I know people have disregarded Theory. They said, he was meant to be the guy and he's not been the guy. Well, the guy is only 26. And I still think he has potential. Maybe I'm delusional here, but I really, really do think that this guy could still be the face of this era. He could be with the likes of Bron Breakker and Obafemi. Obafemi, Austin Theory, Bron Breakker, those should be the 3 top guys in this era. Austin Theory, at the age of 26, is like 3-0 at WrestleMania. He's 2-0 in title matches at WrestleMania. I mean, I really do think he's got potential. He gets better every time we see him. He's great in the ring. He just needs to have a bit more of something about him. And that something is what we've struggled to put our finger on. But I still haven't lost hope. But, Jordy, what was your thought on this A-Town Down Under promo package?
Mate, I completely agree. It's 2 guys I like, 2 young guys who I think have got good heels in them. I think they've got good chemistry together. I'm excited to see where they go with this. Whereas I said on Tuesday when I was talking about Truth and Miz that they will lose them belts soon. I really, really hope that Theory and Waller don't lose these belts soon. I hope they have a good run, maybe ending in a feud together, because I just think they complement each other. I really do. I said to you guys, I kind of want to see a situation before the draft where Logan, Grayson, and Austin all turn up at SmackDown saying they run the show because there's no champion there or whatever. Whether Cody's there or not, if they time it on the right week, it just might be a good dynamic because, again, with chemistry, I think Logan works well with Grayson and Theory and the whole social media thing. There's not more I can really say about these 2 apart from I hope they play it right. I'm completely with you, man. I think Theory has everything in his toolkit. There's just something missing. And it's that thing, exactly what Cena alluded to when they were feuding. It is exactly that thing. It's like, I don't care that much, and I want to. I really want to, because I can see that you're a talented lad. I can see that he's born to be in a wrestling ring. The way that he sells, the company trust him because they put him in the ring with guys like Cena. So, like you said, to have that many title reigns, that many matches behind him, I think the obvious way to go at the end of this would be for Theory to try and be a face, but I think I'd rather see it the other way. And I don't know if it's going to work because I don't know if Waller works as a face. I think his heel works probably better. But yeah, man, it's like you said, it made them look like stars, which is something that they need and something that they'll carry well for the company in the same way that I think Logan does with his belt. I think these 2 are going to flash it all over Instagram. I think they'll probably end up like these are 2 people as well who have been in situations defending the company when they were over in Australia and somebody tried to kind of poke fun at it. So the 2 guys that we know care about it, like them or not as characters, we know that they care about the company and pro wrestling as a thing. So yeah,
I
man.
still think that was a bit. For that many cameras to be there, I don't buy it. I think that entire news situation was a complete and utter bit.
Whether it was or not, though, I think it played. I think it did what they. I think if it was a bit, they intended to make Grayson and Theory look good out of it to fans, and they did. So I think whether or not it succeeded. Yeah, and I think it kind of did them a favor with fans.
Oh, no doubt about it. We've also got a comment here from Isaac Pugh saying the problem was he was rushed too quick. Bang on. I mean, I think that was a big factor of it. And I think now he's had a little bit of time to develop with somebody with as much charisma as Grayson Waller. I think that's going to do nothing but help him.
Similar interest out of the ring as well, I think. Just having that friendship. They seem to have a genuine friendship. They get along. They're similar. I don't know if they're similar ages, but they seem it. So, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Grayson Waller's I think it's 7 years older than him. Like, it's really surprising.
He's like 34.
Yeah.
Man, he does not look it, does he?
Not even 8 years older then. But we have Grizz Company main saying A-Town Down Under versus Profits in France could be the move. Or new cats redacted. We're not calling them the word that Mr. June and Master Bait stole from me that I created. George Lucas got inspired by me. The word Republic. New cats. Yeah. But I hope they get booed because that's what those disgusting Tottenham fans deserve.
Yeah. I
Anywhere
call him Pete Dumb, not Pete Dunn.
Oh,
Nice.
I'm actually going to steal that now, Shad. That is brilliant. Mr. Dumb and Masturbate. Anyway, let's now move on. Let's move on to talk. Oh, let's move on to talk about Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, or Pippa Niven, whatever you want to say. I mean, Chelsea Green's not having much luck as of late, is she? But
Nah.
she isn't at all. Like every week, she's like, "Oh, I want to fight. I want to be a fighting competitor," and then Jade Cargill squashes her. But my question really is going after tag team gold the right move for Jade Cargill right now? Because I don't think it is. She's just establishing herself as a star. People are getting used to her. They're becoming familiar with her. And let's face it, Bianca Belair is such a star that no matter if you put the biggest star in the world next to her, Bianca Belair is going to take some of that spotlight off of her. And I would love to see Belair and Jade Cargill teaming long term, but in the short term, it's just not for me. But Shad, what do you think about this tag team? And do you think they are going for tag team gold?
I think they are going for tag team gold, and I think they're going for tag team gold just because they don't want to put Bianca near the title picture at the moment, and they probably don't want to put Jade in the title picture at the moment just because they want to save that for when she is probably more accustomed to the style of working the WWE pace in ring wise. Although I don't think she's looked bad by any means.
Yeah,
I just don't think she's really gotten a like actual chance to like work
no, she
a
hasn't.
longer match. They've worked the whole, squash and this, that, and the third. Bianca ran the course of most of the match last night. Her and Piper, obviously, I forgot how good of chemistry they have because they've ran a few matches when Bianca was champ on Raw. It was good to see Piper Niven also, by the way. I must say that because I have missed watching her wrestle on my TV screen. She's super talented competitor. But I don't disagree with you. It's weird. Like they look so darn good as a team just because they're both so darn good at it and there's so much star power in there where I don't like want to complain and I'm not like mad at the match between Bianca and Jade going against the Kabuki Warriors cuz it's an interesting match, but it goes back to what I said earlier. It's just these factions are so loaded on SmackDown and they have so many star women on it where it is just the lone fact that it's Damage Control versus Bianca for the a millionth time in some variation has me just not interested in it, right? I feel like I've already seen it and I haven't seen the match, but just them being tied to it doesn't have my interest. Bianca and Jade as a tag team and being the champs isn't bad, but the only reason I don't like it is because that's not reaching their max potential of what they can do. And if it's not leading to it's like one of those things. It's probably going to lead to a storyline where they eventually break and they have their feud. But when will we get that? Like I would rather that be later down the road than sooner. And then I don't want to see them as a tag team for a long time just because the tag team division is not a super thriving division at the moment. I think Kabuki Warriors are a great tag team and they've done very good in the division. It's got a lot better, but I don't like loading just two superstars and putting them in the tag team. So yeah, I'm not here for it, and I want to see Piper Niven and Chelsea Green more on TV. I think Chelsea Green plays her role to a T, and Piper is great. Get her in the fold with something too, man. Let her feud with Rhea, right? Like
That would be certainly a great match to see. Sonny Dalton and Sandy saying that Jade Cargill is not ready. She's still green. I mean,
we had this argument yesterday,
Oh,
Sonny.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that when the spotlight's on Jade Cargill, she shines. And any weaknesses she has, she hides very, very well, very clearly. because, hey, when she got to WWE, they said, you need to go down and practice for a few months. In AEW, she looked great. So, I mean, clearly she's very good at hiding any weaknesses. She has, that is for sure. But let's now go on to talk about the 2 triple threat matches we had, because Jordy, you mentioned it, I think it was earlier on in the show, about Cody Rhodes finding a new challenger for him and how it was kind of overlooked by the Bloodline. Well, we did find a new challenger. Well, sorry, we got one step closer to finding a new challenger as Santos Escobar faced LA Knight and Bobby Lashley. LA Knight, yeah, he won. AJ Styles took on Rey Mysterio and Owens and defeated them, meaning next week on SmackDown, LA Knight versus AJ Styles once again. And surely AJ Styles is winning, because why else would you do this match? Otherwise, coming out of WrestleMania, why not just have LA Knight as the #1 contender? He's already beaten AJ Styles, so I'm presuming AJ is going to be the route they go down. But how can you make sure that AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes is a must-watch feud? Because you're only going to have like 2 weeks to really, really tell it. And I think they need to go into that Bullet Club history. I think they need to tell a little bit of that. And about, like I said it yesterday, Cody Rhodes kind of replaced AJ Styles in the Bullet Club in terms of AJ left, then Kenny replaced AJ as leader, obviously, leader, and then Cody came in. Now, everybody in the comments were like, well, that's not true, blah, 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 blah. It basically is. Adam Cole was replaced by Marty, and Cody Rhodes replaced AJ. That's basically what happened in terms of, people leaving and entering, whatever. People like to be so technical about the positions in Bullet Club, and it annoys me. It annoys me. But, Shad, did this segment annoy you? Are you happy with getting Styles versus Knight 2?
Not really. I think what I said yesterday should have been the move. I think Lashley should have been the opponent for Cody at Backlash, and having them kind of go more heel towards it. I'm not mad, because I am excited to potentially see a Pride versus Legado feud, but I wanted Lashley to be the winner out of this, and he's obviously out of it. Styles versus Knight is not a bad rematch to happen though, just because I feel like they haven't reached the maximum like potential of their feud going into Mania, in my opinion, because I kind of like feel like it still had a little bit meat on the bone, just because it became more interesting towards the end. So it should be cool, and I'm assuming AJ is gonna win. I'm just, to your point, I'm curious to see if the build is gonna be something that fans are gonna be there for. Because I'll be real with you, LA Knight winning over AJ again and having a feud with Cody kind of would have the crowd out there going crazy, just because those 2 guys are so over. And
That's true.
I'm curious to see if it's gonna happen. Like I like AJ Styles a lot. I think in ring wise that's the better match. But if we're going off of like who's the hot hands right now and who is the most over, I don't know, man. A LA Knight versus Cody feud at Backlash could kind of get people a little bit hyped to see. So, but I thought both triple threat matches were excellent. I'm excited to see what we have going in for their match going on between AJ and Knight still though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I have to wholeheartedly disagree there. Cody Rhodes versus LA Knight. Somebody sent into the page today saying that, hey, some fans are turning on Cody because there was some boos last night when he was out there and all that. I don't think that's actually happening, right? I don't think that's the case. But putting Cody against LA Knight is sure a way to test that and to push that. And I think you're risking your company's, biggest babyface right now by putting him in a position where he's against, like you said, Shad. LA Knight is one of the most over guys in that company, one of the most loved guys there. But Jordy, what about you? What did you think about these 2 triple threat matches?
That would test me, because I am very much a Cody guy and I'm very much an LA Knight guy. So that would test me. And I think it would frustrate people on the basis of, I think what's started to frustrate people about LA Knight now is that he doesn't necessarily get that interest in that great storylines. He just seems to get fed to a title picture and then knocked back down. So I'm just worried that if that was to happen, that people would get frustrated for LA Knight's sake and then turn on Cody. So I actually think when you look at a wrestling match, and the two individuals, I think AJ and Cody put on a better match completely. But so that's where I think it's going in terms of Cody AJ. I think Cody AJ Backlash it's a great first test for Cody. It's a match that if I go into it, I kind of am thinking Cody ain't going to lose this quick, but I don't care because it's going to be a great match. If it was LA, I'd be thinking, what a waste of time this is for both competitors because, it's going to do nothing necessarily for Cody. It's going to do nothing because with AJ having that kind of reputation of being such a good in-ring guy, Cody overcoming that gets something. LA Knight's not got the reputation of being a bit great in-ring guy, so I just don't think it does as much for either party. My real question is, where does LA Knight go after this? That's what kind of confuses me, because obviously if AJ then goes on to a feud with Cody, where does LA Knight sit? And that's where I maybe think there was teases of Howdy last night. And I think, although I said earlier, I think Howdy could come back with LA Knight and Bray in the last feud. And I think LA Knight could lose that feud and still be over. I don't think it would massively, but it's just a possibility. We'll see.
No, I actually love that. I think that is a great shout. Another thing which we haven't really touched upon is the possibility of a triple threat. What happens if there's a double countdown next week? Something like that. We then get the triple threat. The next pay-per-view. I can't even remember what the next pay-per-view is after that. Is it
King of the Ring?
I think it's King of the Ring.
I think it's King of the Ring.
Ones, yeah, which I doubt Cody will have a title.
And I'm worried that they're going to put a crown and scepter on LA Knight, and that does worry me a bit. I don't want them to do it, man.
But mind you, if they could turn LA Knight is a phenomenal heel. Really, really great.
Oh, yeah.
I would not mind seeing that one bit. But guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're on Spotify, please give us a cheeky 5 stars. If you're on any other platform, please like, subscribe, whatever it is. Wish you everyday live 7 days a week for you guys. Thank you for all the comments. We always try and read as many as possible because we love hearing, what you guys want to say, share Wrestling Republic. That's the point in us. We are the fans' voice of professional wrestling. Thank you to Shad. Thank you to Jordy for joining me here today. And we will see you guys tomorrow.